annoyed that the media are liberal or whatever. They've always been liberal. That's fine. I'm not mad about that. I accept it as reality. Why it's scary is that on a night like tonight, the whole country, 350 million of us, will only know who the president is when the media tell us. And so it's very important for the media to behave in ways that allow us to trust them. It's important for the future of the country, I think.
Tucker, as always, thank you.
Texas is turning.
Great to have your perspective on election
What's
night.
up, everybody? Hello, Facebook. What's up?
Deep into these numbers.
Welcome back.
Karl Rove, Katie Pavlich down in Brazil. Donald, let me start
Getting
with you.
crazy out there.
There are some of these calls that we haven't made yet, but seem to be going a little bit more towards Donald Trump's way. What are you seeing?
Well,
welcome back. What's up, everybody? Hey, what's up, Facebook? Thank you so much, babe.
Either by a percentage point or less than. I'm not surprised at where the numbers are now. More data needs to come in. More numbers need to come in. What I'm seeing right now, still, again, I'm an optimist. I still believe that there's a path for Joe Biden.
Oh boy,
you still believe
we're back. What's up, everybody?
Say that there's a path?
No, I haven't changed my prediction. I still
We're
believe
still
that
rocking
Joe
and
Biden
rolling
has several
through
paths.
election night.
Look, we haven't called Georgia. We haven't called North Carolina. Things are trending in Donald Trump's direction in Florida. Ohio is still up. Pennsylvania has not come in. Arizona, Michigan, Minnesota, Texas, Wisconsin. So the night is still young. So I'm not ready to light a cigar or pop open a good bottle of champagne because there's a lot of votes that are still outstanding.
Yeah, we've got states all across the bottom of your screen right now that are too early to
Cheers
call,
to you guys.
all of which are very important states in this. About this from Philadelphia, there's a report from Politico that says that Philadelphia officials say that they will not be reporting any more mail ballots tonight. About 76,000
Bernie said it's still choppy.
So
well,
far,
we're here, guys. This is the best we're gonna get.
that have been received. Does that surprise you? And everybody obviously will probably be watching it for many days to come, it looks like.
Well, first of all, secure the ballots. Let's make certain that's done. I am a little surprised. You'd think they'd want to get this done, and we know that Pennsylvania is going to be. It's going to be Friday before they're able to sort of cut it off. This is a state that was supposed to have all the mail-in ballots received by tonight, by close of business, but instead they use some administrative measures and a court decision to move it till Friday. So I'd maybe just say our progress is such, give them the benefit of the doubt. Our progress is such that we don't need to work 24 hours a day.
Hey, everybody, what's up?
And certainly before the deadline of Friday.
Hey, Paige.
But it's better that we have these contests settled sooner rather than later, even if it is an unofficial count and has to be subsequently certified by the Secretary of State.
Karl, while we have you, where are you on Texas? Are you bullish on Trump, Texas?
Texas, our Texas, all hail the mighty state. Of course, it's going to be red. John Cornyn.
Thank you for that.
Yeah, thank you. The one in the musical interlude.
Whoa,
here.
Pennsylvania.
Can I say something about North Carolina?
Hey.
Wait. So you're done with Texas? You think it's GOP?
Yes, it's just a little ditty.
The Republicans will carry it on the presidential level. I'm looking at the numbers. Senator Cornyn is running like 6 points ahead of his Democratic challenger, despite the fact that something like $50 million is spent in the last 6 weeks, including $28 million by Silicon Valley Kayacon in the last week. And not only that, but the Republicans are going to keep the State House of Representatives, which, as I said earlier, was just a gigantic mound of money thrown on Texas. But we're going to hold on to that as well.
And what were you going to say?
Well, let me say something about North Carolina. This is why election nights are so interesting, because you may have just noticed that Trump's margin has grown a little bit. And not only that, but Tom Tillis is now leading in the Senate race. And what's interesting to me is it's a handful of counties. Mecklenburg, which is Charlotte, and Wake, which is Raleigh, and Greensboro, which is surprisingly enough Greensboro, they're sort of mostly all in. And what was happening is that a handful of counties, Union and Johnston were the biggest ones, and then there are Franklin, Granville, and Caswell, smaller counties. They weren't reporting votes. Union County, which is just to the east of Charlotte, and Johnston, which is just to the east of Wake, Johnston started to come in and flipped it, because these counties, Union County went last time around 81-19 Republican. Johnston County went 64-32 Republican. and there are about 200,000 votes there. And just as one of those counties comes in, North Carolina is so close that it flipped it from being a by-formless lead. And we got one other big to come in. Now there's some stuff in Charlotte and stuff in Raleigh yet to come in, but it's like a small percentage of the vote. This is going to be tight as a tick, and we're going to literally be waiting here for all these little places you've never. There's a county, Perkins, 63-39 for, excuse me, 34 in 2016, and over on the Atlantic Ocean, small county, we haven't heard anything from that county. So. The big city versus the little counties and a couple of mid-sized counties, it's going to be a long night.
Hello, Kirkland. And they're, as Carl just mentioned, they're very close.
Katie, do you know anybody in Kirkland?
That you could call.
Okay. What do you think?
I apologize. I don't know anything.
Utah is leaning
Carl's
red.
gonna give me the phone number to call.
Incidentally, I got some criticism for the ding on my phone.
You could almost call that.
We took care of the angel landing for you, Brett.
I got an email from a friend who said that ding on air made the whole country just check their phones. Nice work.
Well, the singing we could do without too. All right, Katie, give us your thought.
I think President Trump's still in really good shape. Joe Biden is the side of the ticket here that has been trying to explain away losing states like Florida, Georgia, obviously county as a result of the water main break for a couple of days, according to election officials there. But in terms of Philadelphia, not reporting any more absentee ballots tonight, and that may be taking a couple of days. The first explainer for that could be that, well, because they had this court ruling that allows absentee ballots to be stamped in the mail past Election Day, they have some breathing room there in terms of getting them all counted and tallied up in the vote. However, there's been this massive controversy with the Attorney General there, who said earlier in the week, just yesterday, that as long as all of the votes are counted, President Trump will lose when he doesn't know the actual outcome of that race yet. And so it begs the question about, what the actual reason is behind them not finishing out the electoral votes tonight in terms of getting the absentee ballots counted and ready to go for the next couple of days.
Yeah, great point. Let's go to Bill Hemmer, who is at the Billboard.
Hey, guys. Good evening to you.
Hi, Bill.
Yeah,
what have you got up there? After you look at that, I'd love to look at Arizona and get your thoughts on that.
Sure will.
Where are we starting here?
Guys, I'm going to give you a spin around here, okay? Because there is a lot of action in these battleground states right now. What the Trump campaign is saying that their Election Day vote is now coming home. They're also suggesting in northeastern PA that blue-collar workers are going for President Trump. Well, let's see if that's the case. 28% of the vote in right now, a small lead for President Trump over Joe Biden. We've been saying it for a while now. Pennsylvania is not going to be able to be called tonight. Is that the case? We believe that to be the case. But look on up here. This is Lackawanna County. Still some votes to be had out there. This is Scranton, PA. This is where Joe Biden lived until the age of 9, until he moved to Delaware in 2016. For comparison's sake, well over 100,000 votes in Lackawanna. So we got a little bit of ways to go here, just about half the vote in that county. So we'll see whether or not the Trump team thinks that blue-collar vote in northeastern PA is coming their way. A couple more things I want to show you guys. This is North Carolina now. This is 0.6% in favor of Donald Trump. We saw it flip just about 10 minutes ago. Some more votes coming in. The president has about a 2,500 vote lead in this far northeastern rural county in North Carolina. So if this stays now with about 10% more of the vote in the Tar Heel state, the president's going to pick up 15 electoral votes in North Carolina, which was, by the way, it's what the Trump team said they would do tonight. Now let's go over here to Ohio. We'll see where that stands right now. The lead continues to widen for the president over Joe Biden here. You're up about 5-6 points right now. Remember, 4 years ago, it was about 7.5. Still outstanding. We talked about the map expanding. Well, let's show you how that's happening here. This is Michigan. Been watching this now. You got a third of the vote in right at the moment. A big part of the vote down here in Wayne County, Detroit, is not in yet, so we're going to watch that. 38% in, the president's slight lead. I would caution you on this only because this is Milwaukee down here, is Green Bay up here. This is Milwaukee County. You've got a lot of votes that have not yet been tallied. Milwaukee tends to run later into the night, so we'll see how this measures up. This is Dane County, by the way. That's where Madison is. That's where the University of Wisconsin is located. He had a ton of votes for Hillary Clinton 4 years ago, so Joe Biden hasn't yet hit that mark. She had 217,000 and 75%, so he's 144. So I would imagine in a liberal county like Dane County, Wisconsin, that there's more votes out there for Democrats to be had. One other thing I think is curious, the Trump team told me a bit earlier tonight that they had about half a dozen counties in Wisconsin that ran out of ballots, and they had to go out and get more. Some of them are right here in the center part of the state, Juneau County. There's not a ton of votes to be had anyway. Nonetheless, though, Wood County, just north of it, they ran out of ballots apparently, had to gather more. Perhaps they file provisional ballots until they can fill the void for that. The reason I bring that up, you got a 6,000 vote margin at the moment in Wood County alone in Wisconsin. Why does that matter? Just pop out here a moment to 2016. I mean, this is razor tight, right? Talking 23,000, 22,000 votes in Wisconsin. All these votes now matter in 2020 from the rural areas that Donald Trump, he's been going there, he's been campaigning. The campaign thinks they've got a shot. One of the high-ranking members of the campaign, split opinion, actually. One gentleman thought Pennsylvania was more likely to flip toward Trump. The other thought Wisconsin was. I don't know if either one is right, but they were laying odds a bit earlier today based on what they were seeing from the results tonight. You mentioned Arizona. Martha, let's go check it out, okay? You know, this is Maricopa County. This is Phoenix. You've got about 71% of the vote tally. By the way, it's the first time I've seen it. I think it's the first time you guys have seen it too, right? Joe Biden with a slight lead here now at 54 to 44. This is Maricopa. This is, look, you win your elections here in Pima County with Tucson and up here in Maricopa. At the moment, 54,
Ninja, thanks,
44,
man.
That's a 10-point edge. Let's see what they did 4 years ago. Donald Trump, pretty impressive, 51-48, so there's more votes to be had as well. Arizona at the moment, 11 electoral votes. We knew they closed at 9. They would not report until 10 o'clock. It's about 10:17 East Coast time, and they're rolling in, guys.
So in Arizona, like those other states, the early vote we've seen from our voter analysis survey goes 6 out of 10
Ninja,
towards
where was
Biden in
this?
pretty much every state. But then the vote seems to fill in, as we've seen in these other states.
Yeah, it's the same trend, right, Brett? I mean, the skew is blue, and then it changes throughout the course of the night. I mean, that's been the pattern back here in Ohio. That's been the pattern down here in North Carolina.
And clearly in Florida.
Yeah, Florida. And also, I would suggest at the moment, with a little more than half the vote in, Georgia's shaping up to be the same way.
Yeah,
Wow.
I mean, this whole question
2020
about
just like that, isn't it, Martha?
yeah, about whether there's a path through the Sun Belt or through the Rust Belt. You know, we're starting to see that Sun Belt area.
Wow.
That's why I wanted to take a look at Arizona, and I saw that there's a pretty decent gap right now between Martha McSally and Mark Kelly, in favor of Mark Kelly, at least at this point. You've got, I think we had about 71% of the vote in the state in. So one to watch as we get a little bit closer to that one.
All right, Bill, thank you.
Talk you back later.
So the polls are closed in the biggest toss-up states in the race for the White House. We're going to bring you all the latest data from our decision desk as it comes in. Plus, Laura Ingraham is on deck to join us as our democracy.
Our retirement plan with Voya
DC in
gives us
front of the White
confidence.
House.
So we can spend a bit today and we're prepared for tomorrow.
Wow. Do you think you
Oh my
overdid it,
gosh, it's Purge.
maybe? Well planned, well
This was in
invested.
front of the White House?
Voya. Be confident
Dude,
to and
this
through
is the
retirement.
Purge.
All OTC pain relievers, including Voltaren, have one thing in common. None are proven stronger or more effective against pain than Salonpas Patch Large. There's surprising power in this patch. Salonpas. Dependable, powerful relief.
Sharing smiles together
Okay,
is
sorry
a
about all the
gift.
confusion,
At Aspen
folks.
Dental, it's easy.
That video was from in front of the White House. Let's see how close we can get. That's New York. This is
There's the White House.
the White House.
You got it on a... We just might be dancing and a little choppy over here.
There was a police call of an assault at a polling place in Los Angeles. Thanks for the update, Dragon Slayer.
There's so many people, bro. A lot of people. When you get hungry and you walk a lot, I know. Well, good news is the gimbal. Where's there a march starting? My bad, y'all. Sorry. I got rid of it. Sorry, Ryan. I got rid of it just for you. That bag. My bad. I got rid of it.
Sinks in. Again, all of those too early to call at this hour.
And let's take a look at the overall electoral map as it stands right now. In the race to 270, Joe Biden at 129, President Trump at 109, and you see the .2 as we stand, .3 as we stand this evening. Things are changing by the second at 10:22. So let's get some thoughts tonight from Laura Ingraham, host of the Ingraham Angle, who joins us with her thoughts on how things are looking so far, Laura, at this point in the evening. We've got some information and quite a bit more to...
Votes usually are the last to be counted, except with the mail-in ballots that are going to be rolling in, postmarked today. So we have to keep that in mind. But I think when we look at Florida and focusing on the GOP for a moment, Martha and Brett, the coalition that the Republicans have been able to put together in that state is really something that they should try to replicate as much as possible going forward up and down the East Coast with a strong contingent of seniors, young professionals, African Americans. The Republicans have outperformed with higher turnouts than they had in 2016. So there was a lot of talk about how Biden was going to bring all these new voters to the fore, and indeed we'll probably find that he did. But the other story, which I think you're seeing playing out in state after state tonight, is that Trump brought more people into the party and then expanded the base from those blue-collar workers on out. So we'll see what happens as the night goes forward. But to me, Florida is the future for the Republican Party.
You know, Laura, this is just an interesting thing, and you talk about this all the time, about the president's policies toward China, being tough on China. Right now, according to the Wall Street Journal, the Chinese yuan has started to tank.
I just saw that. And what is that? Yeah.
What does that tell you?
It's very significant because it means, at least so far in the evening, they're looking at the betting odds, and I know you've probably talked about that already tonight.
Brett has.
Yeah, 64% on the overseas betting now lean toward Trump. And the Chinese are watching all of this, and right now they are indicating to us that they believe the tariffs that Donald Trump put on a whole swath of Chinese goods, they're here to stay. And that obviously hurts their currency, at least in the short term. So that's